Welcome to lessons 11 of the Arabic course. In this lesson we will look at exercise 9 and with it the so-called broken plurals and also what is called diptotes and triptotes. Now if you look at the first sentence of the exercise 9, it goes like this: Al-aqaribu aqaribu. It means relatives are scorpions, meaning relatives are like scorpions. Now, that's two plural words, relatives and scorpions. We saw in the previous exercise, exercise 8, that some plurals use the ending una or ina in the accusative genitive case. We use the una or ina ending to indicate plural. Now, most Arabic nouns do not form plurals like that with the regular endings, but they form what we call broken plurals, where sort of the word is broken up. We still have the same consonant, always the same consonants, but the vowels are added, and sometimes consonants are added. So, if you look at the word list for exercise 9, you'll find that relative and scorpion are, relative is aqrabu, scorpion is aqrabun. So the two words sound very similar, except that one has an alif and one has an ayn. Aqrabu and aqrabu. Relative and scorpion. But in the plural, again, they don't have an una ending, they don't have a particular ending, but they're broken up. In both cases, a long a is added in the middle of the words. So again, in the word list, you have the plural given. It says aqaribu for relatives and aqaribu for scorpions. Again, they're very similar. They sound very similar. And that's, of course, why they're used in this type of saying. Relatives are scorpions, or relatives are like scorpions. Yeah. So the number of forms that the plural, these broken plurals, can have is high. So many different possibilities. A given word will have the same plural. It will generally have the same plural form, though. So that's always something. But other than that, you have to learn it form by form, and the dictionary will give them, just as the word list gives these different plural forms for different words. Moving on to sentence 2, it reads, Al-ulama'u warathatu al-anbiya'i. Al-ulama'u warathatu al-anbiya'i. Learned people, or the learned ones, or the ulama, are the heirs of the prophets. Again, we have 3 plural nouns, and all of them are in the construct. Are broken plurals. Yeah. Now, many of these broken plural forms are what we call diptotes. Now, diptotes are a particular class of nouns, or rather noun forms, that behave slightly different from other nouns. And they're common enough that you have to sort of know about them and understand what they are about. And these nouns behave just like other nouns when they're in the construct state and when they're in the definite state. But when they're in the indefinite state, they behave slightly differently. Again, if you look at the word list, you'll see that relatives is in the plural in the singular is aqrabu and aqaribu. The scorpions, however, is aqrabun and aqaribu. So these four forms, only one has a regular un ending. But all of them are given in the indefinite form. That's the convention for word lists and dictionaries. So this means that, well, this is an example of where the indefinite state is different from so-called diptotic nouns. So the three forms of these four forms are are diptotic. Diptotic means they fall twice. They fall twice is a reference to the forms of the cases. Now, this means that these words behave just like we saw the regular plural behave in exercise 8. What did we see there? Well, we saw that the regular plural is has two different forms depending on case, not three as usual. So the nominative case is separate, that was una, and the accusative and genitive case were the same, namely ina and ina. So you have to judge by the context whether to see if a word is in the genitive or in the accusative. That's also the case with these diptotic nouns, they fall twice, and this only goes for the indefinite state, where the u ending is used for the nominative, as we're used to, and the ending is used for the accusative ending, which we're also used to, but also for the genitive. So sometimes you'll find a word that ends in and you'll think probably that it's an accusative, but you see there's something wrong, and that's because it's actually in the genitive, because is then also used for the genitive with this type of nouns in the indefinite state, and that's the thing. That's what diptotes are about. We'll see them. We'll see examples of them, well, that's it. Okay. Now exercise 9 just has 7 Arabic sentences and no sentences to translate back into Arabic. So have fun with exercise 9, and I'll see you in the next lesson.